Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen. Right now, if you are going to do a bit of business in 2022, then please keep it in the Mill family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your Monday Club video. It's been a while. Looking back at Saturday's brilliant win at Reading on the road, of course, 5 straight wins puts us top of the form table and in contention for a playoff place. Can we keep it up as we travel to Blackburn on Tuesday? And we're going to take a look into that game as well. But for now, let's wind it back to Saturday and start out with a start on 11 that got the job done. Okay, so last week in my preview show, by the way, which I did in the mobile office, I've been on the road, Newcastle, Sunderland, I was all over the place, and I said that Rout would probably go with the same side. Of course, I did know that Mason Bennett and Sean Hutchinson were both out and wouldn't feature in the game. So it was 2 changes. It was a 2 that I expected. Benik Afobe come back in place of Mason Bennett, and at the back it was straight swap as you like. Sean Hutchinson out, Daniel Ballard in. What an absolute fantastic talent that young man is, and I will do absolutely everything I could if I was Millwall to make sure we can sign him in the summer. So 2 changes. A bench of bare bones, if you like. Tyrese Briscoe. We even saw Conor Mahoney come on the pitch at one point. Zach Lovelace came on as well. I love the way that the song now has changed from "How Shit Must You Be." He's only 15, so he's only 16, which he now is. And I always wonder what Lovelace thinks of that. Surely someone must pull him and say, look, it's just the Millwall fans' crack. It's just their banter. They're not, it's nothing against you, because he is obviously a fantastic talent and physically doesn't look out of place at all. Big old unit for 16, the boy. But getting back to the 11 that started the game, as I said, there shouldn't have been too much of a team talk from Rout. It should just be, let's keep rolling, let's keep rolling. And I think that Reading must have been mindful of our recent run because they was very, very defensive. I feel that they had the better chances until we scored because they was on the counter-attack. Tom Ince led the charge. Great chance going out to him as well, him and his old man. He just didn't have the final product, did he? He had all the tricks and all the skills, although he only uses his right foot to stand on, clearly, not to do anything else with it. And as a result, he kept cutting his side, and he's a sort of one-trick pony. And I thought that they did break nicely at times, Reading. In a very few times they did it, they did nearly cause us problems. But I'm struggling again to really remember some saves that Bart makes. I think one he parries over under the bar right in front of him. He didn't even have to dive to do it. So although they had the better chances, I felt we was in complete control of the first half. And I think, again, it's testament to us because we see teams come to the Den and sit, but it's rare we go away and watch teams sit. And Reading did that. They were compact. And I point back to, I watched Everton versus Boreham Wood in the FA Cup, and Everton struggled for 45 minutes to break down Boreham Wood. So it doesn't matter what level you're at, if a team comes and they're compact and they're defensively good, which they've got to be because they obviously know they're not going to be scoring many goals in the game, Reading, then they need to do that well. And if they do that well, as I said, Everton, 45 minutes, they popped the ball lovely against Boreham Wood, but Boreham Wood were compact and they couldn't find the breakthrough. So I felt that was credit to us and the run we've been on, that Reading did take that approach, and I feel that we kept the ball very well. My boy's not been to the last 3 or 4 games, and even he said to me after about 10 minutes, cool, we're keeping the ball much better. We're knocking the ball around much more nicely. He also said as we walked in the ground, we was there about 2:15, and a big moo went up. He went, we're winning this today. Because he's been to a lot of away games, the boy, but if I'm honest, our away support isn't always fantastic in numbers, is it? You get the same sort of 500-600, the same faces you see all the time, the loyals that travel. But with this one being just up the road, and of course our recent run probably incorporated into that, we took 2,000 fans. We probably would have took more. I said it was a police thing, probably. They didn't want us in and around the Reading area, too many Millwall fans, but a Reading fan commented and said Reading have just taken that decision to restrict the amount of away fans that go to games. Why do they do that? Well, I'm guessing it's something to do with their own crowd. Maybe they just think, you know what, we've got lack of atmosphere here. It is a soulless bowl at the best of times, and you don't want thousands of fans encroaching on that, because if you get a good start or to get behind their team regardless, it just sort of gives you the extra edge. And as we know, Millwall fans are mainly usually the 12th man, and I did feel the crowd played a fantastic part yesterday. It was a really, really good away day. If you saw their fan get thrown out, by the way, I was over that side, and it was funny to see him giving it a big one and then getting told to sit down by the stewards, eventually getting turfed out. So the game's going towards the half-hour mark. Now I'm happy now because I've learned to be more patient. I've learned that Rowett knows if he can get us to half-time at 0-0, not get us there. We was never struggling in the game. But if we go to half-time and it is 0-0, then I'm confident that we up our levels in the second half. However, that didn't happen. We come forward. Danny McNamara, shot from distance, nearly gets his first goal for the club. That would have been, I think, great save by their goalkeeper. Ticks it over the bar. For the resulting corner, as we saw last week, Sheffield United at home, Jed hangs up the corner, and at the back post, Juicy Jake comes in and heads in 2 headers in 2 weeks, 2 good headers. Last week against Sheffield United, I didn't give him enough credit in real time for the header. We was right behind that yesterday. Absolute bullet header. And Cooper makes no bones about celebrating in front of his former employees. What an absolute steal he was, Jake Cooper. And that is 2-2 for him now. Or as Jed Wallace said on Twitter, 3-3. And I thought, 3-3? He's counting, of course, the slice and the own goal, giving Cooper a little bit of shit for the own goal against Derby. So we scored a goal then, we get to half-time, their fan gets thrown out, everyone's in good mood, and I think, right, the second half's going to suit us now because they're going to have to come at us, and we'll pick them off on the break. They did come at us, but I didn't feel with great force. I didn't feel was ever really in danger. There was a few goal-mouth scrambles, there was bodies on the line. Now, I'm not complaining about winning a football match. I'm not complaining about the first half performance. I'm not complaining about, defensively, the grit and determination that I've called for us to do before. Bodies on the line, throw everything you got, give everything you got in front of the ball. But I've got to be honest, our forward players were non-existent in the game. That's Tyler Bury, that's the worst he's played, that's fair enough. Jed Wallace has been outstanding for us. I don't think he done really well in the game. Tried things, but they didn't come off, and that can happen sometimes, Jed. And Benicophobe. Benicophobe was getting a lot of shit in and around where I was sitting. People were going mad about him. Now, I'm going to defend the team, the manager, and the squad in general. We've got to remember, we are down to bare bones. And we are now playing 2 games a week. Benicophobe's been dragged back in. He probably wasn't fit. But I thought he'd give everything he could in the circumstances. And sometimes you do have to conserve a bit of energy. So those 3 have all been brilliant for us recently. Well, Benic hasn't been playing. The other 2 have been brilliant for us recently. And Benic does put in a shift when he plays. However, and it can happen, all 3 of those were off the ball, which give us absolutely zero attacking threat, in my opinion, in the second half. The midfield 2, Billy Mitchell and George Saville, I thought both were outstanding yesterday, and I loved that bit where Bill went into them tackles and go, fucking come on. It really got the crowd going again, didn't it? And the issue I had, not with the wing-backs, because they didn't really get forward in the second half, and as we know, they both love to get forward. Bart still didn't have a lot to do, despite Reading. Now, they didn't dominate us by any stretch. They was getting a lot of balls into the box. They was having a lot of the ball. But the problem I had was, when they was putting the balls in the box, we was maybe getting first to it or winning seconds, but it was just our clearances were almost Sunday League-esque at times. And I don't mean, any offence by that. I'm just telling you straight. We was trying to clear the ball. I've got no problem with hoofing the ball out, but we was slicing them. They was going 10 yards. They was going up in the air. And as a result, we just kept giving the ball back to Reading and allowing them to apply more pressure. But I'll be honest, rarely in the game did we look threatened. I'm struggling to think of a Bart save in that second half. So 5 wins on the bounce. And as I said previous to this, I felt that was the game that could trip us up. We know we perform against the good sides. It's the ones we should beat when we're expecting to. When results have gone our way, especially as it did on Friday night, where Nottingham Forest drew, got a 95th minute equaliser away at Sheffield United. That puts us right in and amongst it and in contention. So that's the game then when we're just there, and I think Jake Sanders alluded to it on Twitter, we just seem to fall short, but we didn't do that. We got the job done. 5 straight wins, another clean sheet, and another juicy Jake header. Fuck off. And so we move on to Tuesday's game. It is Tuesday. I did keep saying Wednesday. It's Tuesday. My mate said to me, stop fucking saying Wednesday this morning when he spoke to me on the phone. He's an angry man. Shout out to him. He will be watching. So Blackburn Wednesday, of course, the game that never was. There is already a preview out for that and a score predictions. I'm not sure if the boys will redo their score predictions or they'll stick with what they got. The game, of course, was postponed only about 2 Saturdays ago. I didn't travel. Shout out to the 500 or so that did. Shut up to the 10,000 or so that didn't, but still like to keep banging on about it online. If you weren't going, don't worry about it. Nothing to do with you. They was in no rush to clear that pitch apparently, but look, what's done is done. There was a rumour they did it on purpose because they were struggling for players and struggling for results. Well, guess what? They are still struggling for results because they've won only 1 of their last 7 games. In their last 5, they've lost 3 of those and they've scored only 1 in their last 5 as well. They've had some difficult games, yes. Last time out, of course, they lost 2-0 this weekend away at top of the table, Fulham. But this run sees Blackburn in 4th position in the table, and a win for us against them on Tuesday, I'm not saying we're going to win it, it will put us 2 points behind them, and they're in 4th place. We could go level on points, potentially depending on other results, with the team, whoever is in 6th place, that is currently Middlesbrough. And of course, we have got them this Saturday at the Den. So if we don't win this game, it won't be the end of the world. I've got a sneaky suspicion that we might, though. I have got a sneaky suspicion that we might. But to play it safe, if you like, although I did predict a win against Reading, and we did win. I said 2-1, it was 1-0. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. Blackburn can't score many goals. We never concede any. Hardly ever. That probably means they'll score 4 now. But no, I think we'll keep a clean sheet. What happens at the other end is if we can make a set piece pay, or if we can get Jed on the ball for a moment of magic, in my opinion. They're going to be tired. And we are down to the bare bones. So please remember that when you think, why ain't he fucking running in the channels? Why is he not fucking running hard enough? Remember, you know, I will stick up for him in this instance. We are struggling for players. It would be really nice. He won't do it, but wouldn't it be lovely if he gives Zach Lovelace a start and said, just, you know what, when he does that when he takes Bennett off or Aphobia off and puts Evans in the midfield, wouldn't it be nice, because he switches it then to a 2 up top, doesn't he? Wouldn't it be nice if he put Jed up front and Lovelace and went, go on, go and get the ball on the ball and let him fucking have a run at them, see what they got. Because they're a big physical side, and they're struggling, as I said, with injuries themselves. So I think the element of surprise, the need for some freshness in the team, who knows, I don't know. So that's your lot for this Monday Club. I hope you've enjoyed it. It felt very long. I won't be going to Blackburn on Tuesday. I do have to work Tuesday and Wednesday, but I will be live streaming from around 7:30, and I'll be at the Den live streaming once again as Middlesbrough come to town. That will be the big one. We passed 17,000 subscribers on Sunday morning, so please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow our Instagram page. You can say subscribe to that, but you only need to follow that one. No subscription required. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.